All right, guys, welcome back to a new Hushlife vlog. Our little section of the vlog today is going to consist of some power tools and some sweat equity. We're actually getting the Can-Ams back on tires. So what is it, July? So what's the date, dude?
July 11th.
It's July 11th and we're finally pulling off the tracks, which we used deep into the spring this year. Super helpful for springtime with the heavy snowfall. So Matt's here. He's going to do some filming for the vlog, but just want to show you guys how easy it is actually to remove these. I think it's easier to take them off than to put them on. So we've got the 4 tires, and all it's going to take is an impact wrench. We've got, this is out of Matt's pickup truck. It's somewhat better than the little pump one I have. So there are the lug nuts that we got to remove here, and then the rears are easy. I think this one, this stabilizer bar. See, Matt's got the knowledge. We're going to remove that as well and pull it off and then replace it with the tires. The front ones, they're a little more work, but not a whole lot. So we're going to get to this, and then yeah, we'll just kind of see where this vlog goes. We really don't have a plan. The trick to these is you can't get to them.
Rotate it.
Yeah, you got to rotate each single one of them to kind of spin them. But get what you can. Usually can reach 3 if it's just right.
Yeah, we didn't even plan that. We just pulled it up perfectly.
Yeah, good angle. If we had a longer connection, an extension, we could snag out
my truck.
We should probably bring it over here just to get every one we can.
Let's just do that.
Well, before we get diving into this too much, I did want to comment on the most recent podcast that Matt helped me out with. We got a lot of compliments on the setup, and that was Matt's idea from the very beginning. He wanted to put the TV screen on so we can share some video as we were going through the podcast and answering some questions. So if you guys enjoyed that, let us know. It didn't get a ton of views or anything, which typically our podcasts don't on the YouTube platform, but it sounds like it got some good listens. It got some good feedback. So thank you guys to those of you who listened and those of you who watched on the video platforms. We're trying to figure out how we can get the video uploaded to Spotify. Is that something you figured out, Maddie?
I did watch some YouTube videos on how to do it, so we're in the works. We're in the works.
Nice, he's got the spread. Anyways, thank you for those of you who listened and enjoyed it. We appreciate the comments, like you said at the end of the podcast. It really keeps us motivated. And before we knew it, we had Casey and his daughter doing the same type of platform. Oh yeah, that's easier, huh? Yeah. All right, this is gonna be quick, guys. We're gonna get these off, and you do both sides, obviously, and then we'll show you guys the front. Here we go. There's one. Does it come with like accessories on it or something?
It's got a cool little like back accessory. It has built-in storage, which is
So much. Moving on to the fronts.
Alright, so this is pretty genius by Can-Am. They have so the front end's obviously more complicated with the steering components, with your control arms and stuff like that. So they have like a horseshoe bolt and then a triangle type plate that sandwiches the control arms and the steering linkage, which is super simple to remove. It's 4 bolts and a bracket. So this bracket comes off like that. Then we hit these 2 bolts down here.
Oh yeah, that's the U bolt right there. A little muddy under there, huh? I'm gonna give these a good pressure wash before I set them away for the winter time. But they put in some work this year.
So come check this out. So this triangle piece is what we were talking about. That sandwiches this A-arm, a control arm. So you got this carriage bolt, horseshoe bolt there, and then this bracket that goes here. Pretty simple setup.
So once again, just hit both sides, throw the tires on, and we're gonna call this done. We've only been out here for a little while. I'm breaking a sweat already. And then we're gonna take care of some kokanee that Matt caught. Sounds like he had a hectic morning. Did you vlog about that at all?
No. I'll tell you the story why I'm filleting fish.
Okay, here we go. We'll fillet these salmon. I've eaten some of these kokanee for Matt that he's caught, and tell you what, they're so good, so clean, and just so pure and rich. But we'll get on to that next after we're done with this. And then we're actually taking Bmack's quad back up to his house, and we're doing the same thing on his. Get both of these ready for the fall hunts and scouting season.
All right, guys, was out fishing this morning
That's good.
and caught some slabs of some kokanee. Kept a few for myself, and I always kind of, I think, make Eric a little jealous when I have some of these.
Oh, when he stocks up the salmon fillets, I'm like, dang it.
So
Get out there with him.
So brought Eric one. I'm not an expert by any means, but this is kind of the technique I use. Kind of go behind this front fin, and then you want a bendy blade fillet knife, and I turn it 90 degrees and start going down the back. It's nice little bowl.
That's not as good as the one you use.
Just like that. Oh, this one's pregnant.
Look at those. Hey, we got calamari, right?
Yeah.
Can you eat those?
Yeah.
Should we try it?
We could try it for the vlog. So
Anything for the content.
something I take here, and I actually included the spine on this side, so this wasn't the best fillet, but I'll take, come right under these bones, because these smaller fish, when I say smaller, but this is a giant kokanee, kind of, you gotta, is the juice worth the squeeze kind of thing on some of these kokanee for the meat, but they're so dang good. No wonder that blade felt dull. I was going through the bones the whole way. Just talking crap on your knife.
The meat looks so good. So rich, like the color of it.
Oh yeah, dude, this kokanee, look at all the fat in this kokanee. Should have started with the...
Don't worry about the counter.
Should have started with the smaller one, so I don't waste any meat on the big one. See, that's the sound you want to hear when you're filleting it.
It's like riding the waves.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. We're going to try and eat that. I've never had eggs that clean.
That's
So,
fresh.
yeah, right here, you take and run down those ribs so there's not as many bones.
Is there still some bones in a fillet like that?
Yeah, so that spine that you just cut through all the way down, there's these pin bones. But if you cook it at the right temperature, it actually will like almost cook the bones to where they're like non-existent. This belly fat is like
that's my favorite part.
Super sought after. I'm giving Jade a treat. That's money.
Yeah, for the puppy?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
But dude, that's like, this was a 3-pound kokanee, which is pretty solid. Like on the Pacific Northwest, like an 18-inch kokanee is giant. This was a 20-incher. So it's pretty solid. So when you get under those rib bones, that's kind of the way
that's
it's
how
supposed
you
to
know you
look.
did a dang good job, huh?
Yeah, try to get as minimal of meat as possible. Well, these fish are hard, man. I mean, they're smaller to try and get fillets instead of cooking them whole, which I have done. They're pretty solid that way, but
Get some
kind of something like that.
money. Yeah, that was a good one.
Pass this to the side.
It's funny. If you miss a rib, you go right down the center, huh?
Yeah.
Nice work. So Matt's finishing up there, and we are going to cook some since we got it. And it's fresh, caught this morning. So we're cooking this in a little bit of butter. Just melted some butter on the pan. Topped it with our lemon pepper perfection. I asked Matt, what's your favorite seasoning on the kokanee, and this was his first go-to. So I'm going to give it a try for the first time on top of kokanee.
How much are you gonna eat? Just a little bit?
I don't know, I want like an honest chunk, you know?
Dang. I'll probably do like the size of my thumbnail, I think.
You want a plate?
Look at that. I mean, it doesn't get any more pure and fresh than that, right?
No, dude, I was swimming around this morning. It's beast mode.
I'm trying to get the mental weirdness out of my head to give it like an honest effort.
You like pop?
Mm-hmm. So you're like, they're shooting, you're like, you bite and they like shoot off, and you try to pull them back in to pop them. The flavor is not great. Like, it's not like, oh, I just want to eat that. If you were to mask it in like mayo and pickle juice, or I don't know, some type of dipping sauce with like a cracker, sure, you would never know, but on its own, not for me. Not horrible, but
I'm gonna
just...
add a little bit of salt on mine, dude.
Oh, there you go. Oh, let me do it.
Or I'm gonna do some of this.
Give it some seasonings.
Yeah. Perfect. Dude, this is out of my comfort zone. I don't eat weird stuff ever.
You got that seasoning in there.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
It's just weird.
I don't like that texture at all.
It's a weird texture, but no flavor that
I
you're
gotta
like, wow, it
drink
tastes
something.
great.
I don't like that. Not good.
All right, guys, we're done here. On to the next. What's up? Here we go. Final result. Cooked a little hot and being distracted with all the cleanup. Might have let it sit there too long. We're gonna give it a taste test. Let's see what this lemon pepper perfection is all about.
Cooked it like perfection though.
Do I think? Cooked to lemon pepper perfection.
That's pretty good.
That's good. The texture was surprisingly really good. Like super moist. Like sometimes, so here's like our argument is you get like the farm raised salmon, and I honestly like learned to like it because it's so fatty. when I get like the wild caught, I'm like, it's dry. But this is like a happy medium, to be honest. Way good. Another pork pan, get some. Before we head out to just go wrap this up over at Bmack, I wanted to show you guys these skulls. A lot of people probably want to at least clean up either a dead head or something they've shot. So just a tip, it's not the most glorious thing to do, but someone's got to do it. These are dead heads. This is a coos deer. This was on the shed tour. If you guys remember, it had hide all over the top of it. There was just a ton of stuff that was dry. The brain cavity still had some wet brain matter, and watch out, Jay. It just stunk really bad. So it sat at the house until recently, and then I started soaking both of these. So this elk was like really, really bad. Had a really big chunk of hide or cape on the top of the skull plate. So it took a couple weeks, but I've already given it a good pressure wash. And right now I'm trying to degrease it with some Dawn dish soap and some borax. But I'm not really like super anal about it. I'm just gonna clean it, degrease as much as I can, let it dry out here, and then I'll probably throw some mop and glow on the top, which will help take away some of the smell and give it like a nice shine. But just a tip for you guys, if you got an old dead head, a deer head, an elk head that you just want to get cleaned up, you don't want to go spend 100 or 200 bucks on a European mount through a taxidermist, you can literally just soak it in a bucket of water, and over time it's just going to soften up and hydrate all that dry hide. And once you give it enough time, it might take 2 or 3 times of a process, but most of that stuff that you see here I just pressure wash right off, and now I have at least a clean skull. I'll bring it out, like I said, dry it off, and it's a lot better than having it stinky around your house. So just a tip, if you guys want to clean an elk on your own, you don't want to do the boiling and all that dirty work, just let it soak and nature will just kind of do it for you. Yeah. That water can get low with the heat we have out here, so we're going to refill it. Some of you guys might be like me, and this is a little painful as both those sets of antlers are somewhat getting sun bleached out here. It was already sun bleached, I could tell, because this was the tag that was wrapped around it, and it was a lot darker underneath the tag. But no worries, as soon as it's done and cleaned up, if I want, I can color them up a little. And the fact that they have like the foundation of the color and all the highlights, I think it'll take pretty good. Even if honestly I just rub like mud on it, mud and dirt, and just work it in. Yeah, coffee grounds do really well. So maybe if we do that, we'll do a follow-up, but they are getting a little sun bleached out here in this heat. Before we end our section of the vlog, I just wanted to throw this in here because Ollin is having an anniversary sale. It's 1 year in business, so congratulations Nathan and Ollin. So they had us 20% off sale. We really didn't get a chance to talk about it too much, so I wanted to give you guys a quick unboxing on what to expect when you order your snapshot system, because they extended the sale. So it's 20% off with code HUSH, and it's allin.co. So if you buy the package, you are going to choose your Optic with a drop-down menu. I have the Vortex Razor HD. This is the Gen 2. This is the newer version. And then you are going to buy the phone case for your specific phone. Mine is a 14 Pro. So with that, had I ordered it on the website, this is how it's going to show up. It's going to come with your adapter, your lens cap, which is going to keep out dust, debris, and moisture off your lens. It's got a nice little insert here with some socials, and then it's going to come with your phone case. So that's what you can expect when you order the entire system off the website. Just like any other phone case, you're just going to slide your phone in there. I like to start with the bottom, and it snaps right in. The phone case already has the magnetic tab built into it. And then once you get that set up, to install your lens cap and the adapter, just do the lens cap first. You've got a simple little tether there and a magnetic lens cap. So these are friction fit and they're custom fit to your specific optic. So each one is specific. This one obviously for the Vortex Gen 2 Razor. So it slides on. And this adapter is built to live on the Optic, and it is fully functionable as it stays on. And that is one of the best things about this product versus others on the market, is since it lives on there, it's just a lot faster The second that you spot something like a deer or an elk in the spotting scope, to start getting footage, all you have to do is snap on your optic. So this phone case tab is set up with a custom center alignment ring. One of the best things about the system is this center alignment ring. So this is already built into the tab, and it is also built into the adapter. So as soon as you adapt it, which it connects with magnets, it's going to be perfectly centered. And you're going to know it's centered because you got this nice sharp black ring. And that's going to allow you to just zoom in past the black ring or use the optic to zoom in. So another good feature about the Ollin setup is if you want to go from vertical to horizontal or landscape mode to portrait mode, you can do so with just by, you know, twisting it and setting it up. So vertical or horizontal. One tip for you guys who are new to the Ollin, it is magnetic, so you don't want to pull on the phone to get it off. You want to do exactly what I just did. A quick quarter turn to the right is going to get it off super easy. And again, just throw it on. So 20% off, code HUSH. There's a link in the description box. Wanted to throw that in right here at the very end of our vlog because it is summertime. Scouting season is about to ramp up out here in the West. So hope you guys enjoy it. Those of you who picked it up, if you got the system, let us know in the comments below. And for anybody who's interested in it, again, the link is in the description box. Matt and I are going to go finish up Bmack's Can-Am, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Well, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We're doing something today, or I should say I'm doing something today that I've been looking forward to all winter and spring, to actually get out and do some scouting. If you are not aware, let me make you aware, I was fortunate enough to draw a very hard moose tag to draw in the state of Idaho. And so been pretty excited about it. Anyway, it is the 1st of July, and it is time that we go out and find us a bullwinkle. So it's just me today. Basically what I've done on my OnX is I've just scoured OnX for in the unit that I've drawn for every possible spring, water, pond, anything like that. And I've just dropped waypoints on it. And so today I gotta go check out all these waypoints and see if they look moosey. When my daughter drew the moose tag here, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, she drew a different unit, but that's kind of what I did then. Is I just went on OnX and just scouted, and from my laptop, and I found every little piece of water I could find on OnX, and I dropped waypoints on it, and then I went and checked them out, and if they looked good, I put cameras on them. And that's really how we ended up killing the bull that she killed. Was one of the first ponds that I'd found on OnX. We went and set cameras on it 1st of July, and sure enough, there was a nice moose that was hitting it, and we went back in October and ended up killing that moose. So I'm excited though. I love scouting. I think it's, for me anymore, scouting might be just as fun as actual hunting. There's no pressure. You're just out enjoying yourselves, getting some exercise, seeing some new country, and the possibilities are endless. Like what are you gonna find? What are you gonna see? So I love it. Anyway, I'm running a little bit late like usual. It's about gonna be, I've got the Rambo bike with me, which I don't think I've rode that bike in 5 years, but charged it up. I've got about 6 miles to get to the first waypoint that I dropped, and then another 2 miles to the second one. There's only 2 on this little section I'm gonna go check out. So hopefully they look good and I can drop the Stealthcams on there. So I've got Stealthcam, I got the bear boxes just because I'm so tired of going and setting cameras and having human beings rip them off. So what I do is I go and I screw these to a tree where I got the drill, and then I actually Python lock them. So I'll drill these to a tree, put my Stealthcam in there, and then I will run a Python lock through this and around the tree, so hopefully it prevents anybody from stealing my cameras. There's nothing more frustrating than setting a camera and being excited to check it and going back in to check it and the camera's gone. Hopefully it prevents people from stealing them. Anyway, I gotta get going. I'm late. Well, one thing, glasses are foggy. One thing I have going against me, and I did think about this, but there's water everywhere. After the winter we had, and the wet spring we've had, there's not a lack of water. So I feel like water sources are still gonna be priority of mine to set cams on and to watch, but probably not going to be hitting, you know, probably going to be pretty spread out since there's water everywhere. They're not going to rely on that 1 or 2 springs in an area that always have water, but it's a numbers game, right? Start covering the numbers, start setting cams out on all the springs, or majority of the springs I can find, and see where the bull moose are at. If we're not getting them on that camera, we know to go to the next one. So just coming up my first waypoint that I wanted to set a camera on. See this little creek down here? Right up there. It's beautiful, but supposedly there's a spring up here about half mile from the trail. So I'm gonna go check it out. If anything, I can just, it doesn't look great, just mark it off the list. Well, don't love it. I'm not gonna sit on here. Just too much water. There's a little spring, but it's right next to a raging creek. And I liked it because on OnX it looked like it was a decent little meadow, which it is, but it's tiny. You could definitely catch a moose coming through here. I don't think he's gonna like be living here. This is basically what it is. Kind of a little meadow that goes up, and this is all super wet. This spring comes out and drops into the river. But now I know, so I can check that one off the list of places to check. There is another one. Oh my gosh. So it's very wet. There's another one I want to set really bad. I've actually been to it when we were deer hunting years ago. Oh my gosh. Just getting destroyed. It's just all just super wet. Anyway, there's another spring I got to get to before dark. That is only another maybe 2 miles on the trail. So I'm gonna quit messing around in this mud hole, get back on the bike, and get motoring. I'm that guy. Look at it. Oh. Yeah, that was me taking a spill. As soon as just before I hit a rock, I thought this isn't safe to be filming and with one hand and trying to ride down this trail. And then I just went over the top of my handlebars, and it feels like I might sprain my wrist. Okay, I'm gonna be safe. I was doing that for you guys. Hopefully you appreciate that. It's been a long time since I went over the handlebars on a bike. I think you're supposed to stop doing that in like your early 20s. So I kind of left you hanging. You guys don't know that you were hanging, but you were hanging. I didn't finish the whole video when I went to set the trail cams, and here's the reason why. After I took the spill, I kept going, and I had about another 2 miles to go to get to where I wanted to go and set a cam on a spring. Well, for some reason, my phone died, and when I left the truck, it was 100%. So my phone died, so I didn't know really where I was going. And then that Rambo I was on, it was at 65% when I crashed. I got another mile down the trail, and then all of a sudden went to 8%. And so I decided to turn around. I thought the 8% was probably wrong because it was just at 65%. Anyway, I ended up pushing that stupid bike 3 miles back to the truck, got hammered on by mosquitoes. So today's a new day. It's another week, and we brought the big guns, okay? Look at this. We have Baku dirt bikes. They haven't even released these yet. And I brought my dirt bike. But we got Logie here. We got Nathan from Ollin. And we're going to go set a camera. I didn't get one camera set the other day. It was a complete disaster of a trip. And so today we're going to go set a camera. And hopefully we're not pushing bikes out, because that sucks. If you've ever rode an e-bike, they're super fun. But if you ever have to push one, not fun. What do you have to say for yourself, Nathan?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, all I know is these guys are like, yeah, you can come set trail camps with me, but you've got to bring the bikes and you got to drive the truck. But luckily we got really nice weather, and hopefully we can get up there without getting the battery dying and set some trail camps.
I'll tell you this,
some big bulls.
I shouldn't say this, but I don't think it could be worse than the trip I had last week. But I just said that, so
No, it's not gonna be worse.
Hold
These
on to your
bikes have
hats.
Plenty of battery life.
I'm stoked to try these things out. When are they launching these things?
I think they're supposed to launch a batch before the end of this year. I just don't know when. But these are a ton of fun.
How long? You've had them for what, a couple months?
Yeah, I've only done like a few mountain rides with them. We put around with them just in our backyard with the kiddos because you know, there's no pipes, so you don't get super hot.
Yeah.
They're super quiet, so they don't bug the neighbors. But just a few days ago, I did a mountain ride, and I rode it till the battery had 50% left, and then I turned around. I was about 2 miles from the very top because I wanted to see what the battery life would do going back down. And when I got back down to the truck, it was about a 25-mile loop. I still had 23% battery life. So if you're finding good loops, like I bet you could do like a 30 to 35-mile loop
Dang.
on them, as long as you're paying attention to where you're at and how much is uphill, because obviously it's going to take more battery going uphill. But dude, they do awesome. They do really, really good.
Let's go rip these things around.
Yeah.
You get it?
Did you about wreck?
Dude, it just doesn't stop. You give it some and it's just bat, bat, but without the bat. Check out this beautiful green meadow. So me and Nathan back up the bus. The back tire of my Baku e-dirt bike, I think I slipped a bead when I was ripping up the switch tracks, hit a rock on the side and let some air out. So my back tire on my bike is like almost flat. So Casey left the bikes, bombed all the way back to the truck to get the pump so we can ride out safely. And so while he did that, me and Nate bushwhacked all the way up to the top of the spring to set some cameras for these moose. We didn't make it all the way up to the top yet. Where we're going is probably another 250, 300 yards up this draw. But this is too good of a spot not to set a secondary camera. So we're gonna hopefully set a cell cam up top, and then like 200-300 yards down is this beautiful green meadow. And this is the setup. So really nice creek going through. There is a game trail here and here, and just a big wide open good spot, and I like it. Setting cameras, I like this spot. So north is back that way, south is that way, so the sun should go like this and instead of coming into the camera. So just tech tip when you're setting trail cameras, make sure that the sun's not going to be glaring you out. So this way we got east and west instead of north and south. So we got meadow, possible game trails here and here, and then a beautiful little bare box camera shooting. Like, this is what it actually looks like, is like this. That will be the angle of the camera. We did some testers. Nate was a bull moose out there.
Hopefully we capture one a little bigger than me though.
The mosquitoes are no joke. I feel like I've been bitten 15 times just from being down here, but camera one set. We're gonna take a picture of the tree it's on, save it to our OnX with a pin where it's at, and then we're just gonna mosey up and see if we can get to the head of the spring and maybe find a place where it pools up or something. But camera number one, locked and loaded. I knew this trip couldn't go down without some sort of adventure. Somehow Logan knocked the bead off of the back tire on this Baku dirt bike. So I had to run back and get the pump and then come pump it up while Logan and Nathan went and set the trail camera on the spring we've been trying to get to for the last 5 days. Sounds like they finally made it. I got the tire pumped up. It's holding air, and now I'm just shuttling bikes down the trail because where they went in is way higher than they needed to. So I'm just shuttled those two bikes down. Now I gotta go get my dirt bike. But it sounds like the spring I've been looking at on my OnX for the last month or so looks really good for moose. He said it's a big, nice spring with a nice meadow, and he said there's moose sign in there already, which is awesome. So hopefully there's a big bullwinkle hanging out on the spring. If not, I'm trying to like to get 10 cameras set up all around in this unit before the season starts, just so hopefully try to figure out what we're dealing with. What, this unit has to offer for large moose. But I forgot how hot it is middle of July at noon on the side of a mountain. Feels like it's 95 degrees. And then when you try to stop in the shade to shade up, the mosquitoes try to carry you away. So just a lot of winds for the day. But we finally have a camera set, which is awesome. So me and Nate bombed up higher to the actual waypoint that Casey had us going to, and it was just so thick, too thick to set a camera, that's for sure. Like, it looks good, feeds good, everything's green this year, obviously, with the abundance of moisture. But on our way up, we passed this spot, and I was like, we can't skip this spot. So looks like this is going to be the spot. We didn't put any cameras higher, like I said, too thick. But what we did do was swap that other camera out for a cellular camera. That's actually the DS4K Instant. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's a sweet camera. I've ran cell cameras before in my deer spots, and they're hard to beat. I like setting the frequency to once per day at 10 p.m. at night. And so what that means is, instead of sending you pictures instantly, which can kind of slow the camera down from actually taking photos, it's smarter to have it uploaded to you once a day. That way, while things are happening, it can take as many photos and it's not worried about sending them instantly. So once a day, every night, 10 p.m., it'll at least send you one photo of what's happening, and then all of the photos it's captured through the day. And it's like a little surprise, you know, as you're laying in bed getting ready to fall asleep, your little camera sends you photos. So that's what we have it on. It should be sending me some photos tonight of us obviously moving it around and setting it up. But we're gonna hike back down. I think Casey got the tire pumped back up like a mile down this super thick, gnarly canyon to the trail, and we'll hop on the bikes and jet out. But hey, we got a camera set, so if we run into another spot on the hike back down, I'll drop this secondary camera. But as for now, we're just gonna head back to the bikes.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my portion of the vlog. I have been on a bit of a road trip and just recently got to my destination, but I am back in Wisconsin visiting with my great friend Josh Miller at his business, Riverstone Kennels. So this is where I got our dog Cruz just a little over 1 year ago, and so we are back to do some training. I actually ended up taking Eric's truck because we just got this new camper installed. This is a Go Fast shell topper. To be honest with you, I've been pretty impressed so far with it. I did a bit of a road trip up through Montana, got this shell installed, and what's kind of cool about it is you have a full enclosed canopy. You can see kind of a lot of storage space in there, but then you also have the ability to flip up the tent portion of it and sleep right on top. Kind of see up in here, you just push those panels up and you're able to climb up in there, so you can kind of have all your stuff in your truck plus sleep on the top of it. So Cruzy's in the kennel here waiting patiently, and Josh is out working some more advanced dogs right now. But the goal for this trip is to do bird and gun introduction. So Cruz has been a phenomenal dog so far for Corey and I. Just love him to pieces. This is honestly pretty new to me, like a lot of this training stuff. I've been following the Retriever Roadmap, which is like an online training program that Josh developed, which has been fantastic and really focused a lot on basic obedience stuff. Heel, sit, stay, come, utilizing his place board, crate training. Now we're gonna start moving on to, I guess, foundational training. And then that transition to like intermediate training. Myself and Josh, we are gonna get Cruz introduced to some of this more advanced work. I'm excited. We're gonna start with a dead bird. We're gonna go to like a clipped wing bird, get him introduced to some of these live birds. So that's gonna be very exciting today. We're gonna probably tomorrow introduce shotgun sounds and noises. There's a system and a process he uses for that. And then just like the socialization component. So Josh is training a lot of other dogs. My goal is to get Cruz on a place board and just make him be patient and sit and heel. And that's the biggest thing that has stood out to me working with Josh the last year and a half or so. It's just the patience and the discipline a lot of his dogs have. Whether we were down in Arkansas hunting ducks, whether we've been out here at the training facility, the dogs that he is breeding have a big motor out in the field, but then they're very quiet, they're very patient, and they're just a pleasure to be around at the house or in like a duck blind, for example. So next week's vlog, I will run you through everything we've done with Cruzy, from the obedience stuff to the introduction to the bird, to the introduction to the gun, and kind of a little bit more of an in-depth program. It's been a lot of fun. Did a little bit of horseback riding, we've done some muskie fishing, done a lot of bird and dog work just out here. This beautiful facility. It's really ideal for being able to do this dog training, from really this training technical pond to the big kind of field work to some ag fields. There's just all these variables that they've got built in to, as the dogs progress in their training routines, just make it more challenging, more obstacles, but yet super safe environment. So it's a pretty cool place to be out here. Got some puppies on the ground this morning, kind of doing their morning ritual of getting a little bit of outside air time. Got Cruzy in the truck, and we're going to continue the process. But been a ton of fun. If you guys are interested in doing any kind of dog training on your own accord, whether you have a brand new puppy, you've had a dog for a year or two, and you just need to get a little bit more crisp in some of the things you're trying to do from bird hunting or even just obedience, I'd encourage you to check out Retriever Roadmap. It's a very well put together video-based training application and module. And Roadmap basically helps you determine which way you want to go. And everybody that has had a dog or has tried to train a dog understands that not two dogs are going to be the same. So Josh and his team have done a really nice job putting that together. We've got a discount code that will save you guys $100 if you want to get started. But they've built a really incredible community. They've got a great Facebook Retriever Roadmap group. They're doing these regional strike training courses as well. So members within Retriever Roadmaps will get together, they'll bring their dogs, they'll run drills, they'll get on somebody's property, and they've got them spread out all across the United States. So it's pretty cool what they're building. Really just a lot of like-minded people, all passionate about dogs, about gun dogs, and about trying to better themselves and their puppies. So check those guys out, and we'll see you next week from Wisconsin with a bunch of bird dog training and a little bit of progress on how Mr. Cruzy's doing. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll catch you next week.